Bienvenidos, aloha, and welcome in to Tar Radio. Alex Crawford with you here live from El Toro High School, the site of tonight's season opener between your Newport Harbor Sailors and the home team, the El Toro Chargers. This is game number 1 for Newport. This is game number 5 for El Toro. They come into tonight 0-4 on the season, seeking win number 1. The Sailors starting off the 2021 campaign, happy to be here, but also looking to build on last season's league co-championship, which they claimed along with Edison. The tip, and the game is underway. Pissarro tips it back to Darrow, who passes it over to Luke Barnes, and we're playing basketball here at El Toro High School. 8 minutes on the clock. Newport controls, driving in the lane, hanging in the air, and dishing it out. Gianni Pissarro has it. Now back up top to Levi Darrow. It's good to see the boys in blue, Sailors working from left to right in their Navy uniforms. El Toro in their home whites. Darrow right side of the key. Bounce pass inside, tries to thread the needle. It's out of bounds. Last touch by El Toro, who's trying to feed it inside to Pissarro. Darrow, the lone varsity returner from last year's squad that went to the first round of the CIF Southern Section D2 AA playoffs. They lost to Eastvale Roosevelt by 12, 56-44. Darrow has it way beyond the three-point line, triggers a three, nothing but the bottom of the net for Levi Darrow. That's the kind of start you want to see for the senior, the team captain, and the reigning Surf League co-MVP. El Toro has it down 3-0. Sailors lead, driving in the lane with a right hand missing is Ryan Snyder. Sean Jaffe grabs the board for the Chargers and is fouled, not a shooting foul. So it'll be a inbounds from the baseline here. 3-0, Sailors lead. Martinez looking to inbound it. He does. He gets it way beyond the top of the key to Chad Snyder. Dribbling with a right hand. Up top is Martinez. Now on the near side wing, Snyder has it. He gives it back to Martinez, who drives, hangs in the paint, and floats it in with a right hand. 3-2 score favoring the Sailors. El Toro's on the board. Levi Darrow brings it up for Newport Harbor, dribbling with a left-hand hip-high dribble, bounce pass in the lane. The hoop, not the harm, but a foul shot coming for Gianni Pissarro, who was cutting along the baseline. Fouled as he shot it, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. 6:40 to go in the first quarter, and the Sailors lead 3-2 on the three-pointer from the senior captain, Levi Darrow. Pissarro sinks the first for his first points of the 2021 season. And his first points tonight, Sailors 4-2. They lead over the Chargers here on the road. Pissarro's second one rims in and out, no good. And the lead remains 4-2. Here comes El Toro, working from right to left. White jerseys, white shorts. And the navy blue numbers for the El Toro Chargers. Open three at the top of the key. Missing is Snyder. Rebound controlled by the Chargers. It was saved out of bounds by Shea Elgin. He threw it into a Chargers player who was then hacked with two hands by Levi Darrow. I think they're going to say either an offensive foul or he traveled because it's a turnover and it's possession Newport Harbor. Luke Barnes brings it across the timeline for the Sailors. He stands right on the blue El Toro Chargers bowl. Passes it over to Pissarro, left side now. A lob inside to the cutting Pissarro from Luke Barnes. He couldn't get there, and El Toro controls the rebound. 4-2 seal your score, 6 minutes to go in the first. Martinez drives in the lane up top. Kicks it out. Darrow pokes it away. He tries to come up with a steal. He does. Dribbling with the right hand. Cutting up to the hoop and laying it in with the right finger roll. Levi Darrow coast to coast. And the Sailors lead 6-2 with 5:40 to go in the first quarter. El Toro has it on the far side beyond the three-point line. Near side Martinez, harassed by Darrow, drives in the lane, stop, pump fakes, now feeds it down low to the big man. Sean Jaffe puts it up, misses everything, rebound Sailors. Pissarro comes up with it and pushes the pace ahead. Right side beyond the three-point line is Lee, back up top to Darrow, steps into a three-pointer, yes, Levi Darrow is off to an incredibly hot start in this game and in this season. 8 points in this game for the senior. The Sailors have 9. 9-2 they lead over El Toro. 5 minutes to go in the first. Chargers fade away, missing. Rebound controlled by Pissarro. Darrow has 8. Pissarro brings it up. Left side, Tyler Lee steps into a 3. Misses it. Strong off the iron. Rebound. Grabbed by Ashton Rico, and El Toro will bring it up. They trail by 7. 9-2 score favors the Sailors. Harassing defense by Luke Barnes. Pokes it away. Last touched by Newport Harbor. They'll say Luke Barnes last player to touch it. He doesn't agree with it. Neither does Coach Toribio. But it will be Chargers basketball. Inbounds right in front of the scorer's table. (9-2) Sailors lead. El Toro basketball working from right to left. Francisco Martinez has it top of the key now. Left side over to Sailor. Against the Sailors, Martinez triggers a 3. In and out, no good. Rebound grab by Pissarro. Darrow will bring it up for the Sailors. Pass to the cutting Pissarro, who stops, draws the contact, no off the iron. Rebound grab by El Toro. 4:10 to go in the first quarter. Sailors lead by 7. 9-2 the score. Martinez has it at the top of the key. Bounce pass in the near side corner, and a three-pointer triggered and hit by Chad Sailor. Cuts the Sailors' lead to 4. Sailor for 3, 9-5. Newport Harbor leads, and Darrow controls it across the timeline for the Sailors. Now patiently slows his dribble. Swings it left side to Barnes. Now Jake Reed in the game for the first time. Has it. A baseline pass intended for Gianni Pissarro. Bounces off of the senior's hands and goes out of bounds. And let's take a look at the substitutions here. John Siegel in the game and Jake Reed on the hardwood for the first time tonight and the first time this season for the Newport Harbor Sailors. El Toro's basketball working from right to left, trailing by 4, 3:30 to go in the first. Ryan Snyder passes it to Martinez. He's driving in the lane, stops. Darrow all over him. They swing it back up top to Andre D'Amato. Now left side. Ryan Snyder has it. Driving in left side. Hangs in the air. Blocked. Out of bounds. Jake Reed, the volleyball player, getting in on the block action on the hardwood here on the Hoops team. And it's out of bounds. Possession. El Toro. They inbound it. They get it in the paint. Reed's all over him. And Reed with another block. Out of bounds it will go. It's a jump ball officially. Possession arrow. El Toro, but Jake Reed, the 6'4 sophomore, the tallest guy on the Sailors team, has come into the game and immediately made an impact with, by my count, 2 blocks in the last 30 seconds. 3:09 to go. Sailors still lead by 4, 9-5 in favor of the El Toro Chargers. They inbound it to Martinez. He drives with the right hand along the baseline, hangs in the air, splits the defenders and scores. Right between Siegel and Darrow, Martinez brings the Chargers to within 2. 9-7, Sailors still lead. Luke Barnes thinking about a 3, left side of the three-point line, no. Now Reed has it right side of the three-point line. They feed it down to the paint to Tyler Lee. He's double-teamed and fouled as soon as he gets the pass. Hit right on the forearm. Down on the left block. Foul will be against Martinez. First personal for the senior point guard. It's not a shooting foul, so it'll be an inbounds. Darrow will throw it in. He gets it into Luke Barnes, dribbling with a right-hand hip-high dribble just beyond the timeline. Back to Darrow. Has it at the top of the key. Now Siegel, back up top to Barnes. Left side, Jake Reed, right-handed three-pointer is a little too strong. Rebound grab by the Sailors. It's Luke Barnes flying in there, tenaciously grabbing the board. And it'll be a jump ball possession Newport Harbor as the Chargers defender was able to get his hands on it at the same time as Mr. Barnes. And Darrow will inbound it on the far baseline. Gets it into Siegel. Now back up top to Lee. Left side Barnes. Patient with it. Back to Darrow. And he feeds it over to Siegel. Working around the perimeter are the Sailors. Now Darrow with a hip-high left-handed dribble. Left side Barnes. Back up top to Reed. Right side Siegel. Darrow, baseline, cutting, jumping, jump stop, draws contact, no, gets his own rebound, fighting for it. And it'll be a non-shooting foul against Ashton Rico, the sophomore big man for the El Toro Chargers. Levi Darrow draws the foul. He drew the contact, grabbed his own rebound, went right back up and picked up right where he started last season with that textbook Levi Darrow tenacity that we've come to know and love. On the hardwood for the Sailors, Lee inbounds it to Darrow. Thought about a three, no. Now crossover dribble. In the alley, back up top to Barnes. On the elbow, bounce pass attempt by Darrow. Ends up being a kick ball off the foot of Andre D'Amato from El Toro. It'll be Sailors ball again, leading by 2, 9-7. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Luke Barnes has it. Now up top to Darrow. Hands it off to Barnes, who dribbles just across the timeline on the tail of the El Toro Bowl. Jake Reed, inside, outside to Darrow, pump fake. Now he triggers a three. In and out, no good. Rebound, Reed, tenacious, back out to Darrow. Thought about a three. Stop, good defense at the free throw line. Dishes it out to Barnes. Pass to Lee on the block, up top to Reed. He shoots another three. Off the back of the iron, no good. And the Sailors come away with no points on quite a long offensive possession. Here comes El Toro working from right to left, trailing by 2. Sailors lead 9-7. And a timeout from head coach Nick Sonato. And the 0-4 El Toro Chargers looking for win number 1. Sailors looking for win number 1, but it's their first game of the season. They'll take a timeout. We'll keep it right here on Tar Radio. We'll be back in action on Tar TV on Wednesday night for the Sailors' home opener, 7 o'clock tip against Fountain Valley. So be sure to tune in to that one on the Tar TV YouTube. The Chargers are averaging 46.75 points per game, giving up 54.5. So on the wrong side of a point differential there as they have the ball here. Corner three triggered by El Toro, and they hit. Ryan Snyder, the senior, puts his team up by 1, 10-9, with 60 seconds on the clock remaining in the first quarter. Darrow brings it across the timeline, left side to Siegel. One dribble, now pass up top to Reed. Now Barnes has it, dribbling with a right hand. Stops his dribble, passes it right side beyond the arc to Reed. Now left side in the corner, driving baseline is Barnes. Darrow, near side corner, triggers a three, too strong off the iron, tipped out and chased down by Reed. Splits a pair of defenders. Sailors have numbers. Siegel in the corner, driving baseline, bounce passes, intercepted, and then out of bounds. Chad Saylor had it briefly for the El Toro Chargers, and he just couldn't get his mitts fully around it. Jordan Medeiros was cutting baseline for Newport Harbor. And Siegel will inbound it for the Sailors. Out beyond the three-point line is Darrow. Now Medeiros, top of the key, left side. Luke Barnes, hip-high dribble with a right hand, left side to Medeiros. They working on the elbow to Reed. Cutting inside, Siegel with a left hand off the glass. No, rebound controlled by Aaron Kazarian and the El Toro Chargers. They push it ahead. In the near side corner, now back up top. Andre D'Amato has it. Final 15 seconds, and the game is tied up 9-9. I thought it was 10-9, but the three by Saylor was in fact a 2. And a 5-second call goes against El Toro. The coaching staff doesn't like it at all. And with 9 seconds on the clock and a tie game at the end of the first, Levi Darrow brings it up for the Sailors. 5 on the clock. Left-handed, Levi Darrow switches to a right, drives in the lane, through a no-look pass baseline, and no one was there. He wanted someone to cut. They didn't. And with .1 on the clock, El Toro will inbound it, and the horn will not sound. So into the second period. Newport Harbor got out to a 9-2 lead. The Chargers fought back, and we're all tied up at 9. The Sailors have 9 points. Levi Darrow has 8 of those. The reigning Surf League co-MVP, along with Edison's Jackie Kwok, both of them juniors last year. Darrow last season for the Sailors, 11 points, 4 assists per game. But we know Sailors have the work cut out for them this season in what promises to be a pretty competitive Sunset League. They lost 4 of their varsity starters from last year. 4 seniors graduating. Luke Bashore, Robbie Spooner, Ryan Miller, and Nick Silva, along with Josh Sandy and Remy Solani off the bench. So A whole new look for the Sailors this season. El Toro has the ball. They drive in with it. It's tipped. It's controlled by Pissarro, and Darrow will bring it up. So El Toro missed. Pass ahead from Darrow to a cutting Tyler Lee, who goes up with the right hand, misses, but draws the foul. And if the Sailors can continue to do that in Sunset League play, they will be successful. They don't have a lot of height. Luke O'Neill and Jake Reed, the two tallest guys on this team at 6'4", but they do have speed, they do have discipline, and they do have the vision and tenacity of Levi Darrow at the point guard position. Tyler Lee dribbles with the right hand and shoots the first of two. It touches all parts of the rim and goes out, so he misses the first. We're still tied at 9. 9-9, 7:31 to go until halftime. Second shot by Lee up off the right side of the iron, no good. Rebound grab by Ashton Rico, and Martinez will bring it ahead for El Toro, working from right to left. El Toro tied this thing up, 9-9, 7:20 to go. Martinez drives in the lane in the right alley, pump fakes, draws contact, ball goes off the side of the backboard. But he'll go to the line and shooting too. Luke Barnes got him. And Francisco Martinez, the 5'8", 130-pound senior point guard, will go to the line shooting two for the El Toro Chargers. Dribbling with a right hand and letting it fly, and he puts El Toro up for the first time tonight. Their first lead of the game comes with 7:14 to go in the second period. And the Chargers now lead 10-9. On the free throw from Francisco Martinez. Second one rims in and out, no good. Rebound grabbed by Gianni Pissarro. He brings it up, stops his dribble, gets it ahead to Darrow, cutting in the lane, off the glass and good. Levi Darrow has the Sailors back up 11-10 with 7 minutes to go until halftime. Sailors have 11 points. Levi Darrow has 10 of them. El Toro stopping at the elbow. And now triggering a three is Martinez. High arcing shot off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound fought for and grabbed by Darrow. Beautiful box out by the senior point guard. Dribbling with a right hand in the alley. Stopping, hanging in the air off the glass, and he draws the foul. Levi Darrow. A beautiful display of basketball by the 6'2", 175-pound senior. With 10 out of the Sailors' 11 points, Newport Harbor leads by 1, 11-10, as Darrow goes to the line to shoot two, sinks the first, and has the Sailors back up by 2. Second free throw by Darrow on the way, and good. So 13-10 now, the Sailors lead. And Levi Darrow has 12 of those 13. Francisco Martinez will bring it up for the El Toro Chargers. Right in front of the Sailors bench. He is guarded by Brandon Kincaid, the junior point guard in the game. Tries to get around a screen. They swing it left side in the corner. Sailor thought about a three. No, now back right side of the three-point line to Martinez. Back up top to Martin, driving in the lane. Stopping in the paint. Tried to force a pass inside. A pair of Sailors got their mitts on it, but it went out of bounds. Barnes touched it first, then Elgin tried to grab it, and it went out of bounds. Possession, El Toro. Ryan Snyder will inbound it for the Chargers right in front of the Sailors bench. He gets it into Martinez. Now back to Snyder. Guarded tightly by Elgin. Driving, stops his dribble. He's got to do something with it. 4 on the shot clock. He shoots a fadeaway. High arcing shot is good. Ryan Snyder had to make chicken salad out of chicken poop with that one, and he does, and he has his team back within 1. 13-12 Sailors lead. Darrow in the lane, stops his dribble. No-look pass to a cutting Pissarro. And Darrow's mind was one step ahead of Pissarro since he was just a second late to the ball. It was a beautiful play that I'm sure at some point they will execute to perfection this season, or maybe even in this game. Martinez brings it up for the El Toro Chargers, down by 1. 13-12, Sailors lead. 5:30 to go here until halftime. He drives baseline, and it's blocked out of bounds by Elgin. He got his right paw on it and tipped it out. Possession, El Toro. But this undersized Sailors defense has played tenacious and looked good thus far in this game. Inbounds just across the timeline. They pass it in to Martin, Alec Martin. Hand off to Sailor. Now Snyder Over to Martinez, guarded by Darrow. Stops his dribble at the free throw line. And it's tipped, and it's stolen by Passero. Now he has his pocket picked by Alec Martin, who couldn't corral it after tipping it out of Passero's hands on the fast break. It'll be possession, Newport Harbor. Tyler Lee to inbound. On the near side baseline, Sailors working from left to right. It gets it into Darrow just across the timeline. Darrow passes it over left side to Elgin. Thought about a three. No. Now Tyler Lee at the top of the key. Dishes it back out to Elgin. Deep three. Pump fake. Drives in the lane with the right hand. Hangs in the air. High off the glass and good. Shea Elgin knifing through the defense like a hot knife through butter. Has the Sailors up 15-12. Under 5 to go until halftime. Driving baseline. Falling down. Losing it out of bounds is Alec Martin and the El Toro Chargers. He tried to drive baseline. Lost his footing. Couldn't corral the ball. And the 6'2 senior, Tyler Lee, will inbound it for the Sailors. He gets it into Luke Barnes. Luke Barnes, the senior, two-sport athlete, also a captain of the lacrosse team, drives on the left alley with a left hand, and he lays it in on a finger roll. Luke Barnes, coast to coast. The lacrosse attacker attacks the hoop on that one and has Newport up 5, 17-12. El Toro brings it down, packs their bags, and travels. Turnover. Chargers, 5-point lead for the Sailors. 17-12 with 4:31 to go until halftime here from El Toro High School, the home of the Chargers. They get the inbounds in to Elgin, dribbling with the right hand over to Barnes, not across the timeline yet, and now Barnes brings it up with a left hand, drives to the hoop, hangs in the air, off the glass and no good. Martinez pushes the pace for the Chargers. Snyder triggers a near side three, misses, rebound by the Sailors. Darrow throws it ahead to Lee. Back to Elgin, now back to Darrow. They set up the offense. It's Darrow driving the lane, spinning, loses the basketball. It's on the ground. Darrow gets his knee rolled up on and he's in pain. Levi Darrow looks like he actually got kicked in the head. I was worried it was his knee. But he comes up grabbing the back of his neck, pops up, but it was a trio of white shirts collapsing to Levi Darrow, and one of them tagged him in the back of the neck. And Darrow, for the first time tonight, will head to the break for a quick breather. Replacing him in this game is number 5, the other Elgin brother, Taryn Elgin, in the game for the first time. Last year's JV MVP for the Sailors. Snyder spins in the lane for El Toro, misses everything. Barnes grabs the rebound and commits an offensive foul. Pushing off with the right elbow, driving in the left alley was Luke Barnes. He can't believe it, but I'll be honest, I saw him using that elbow from way up here in the stands. And now Brandon Kincaid checks back into the game. 5'11", 165-pound junior. Darrow back in the game as well, replacing Taryn Elgin. So the 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Darrow, Shea Elgin, Kincaid, Reed, and Lee. Snyder drives with the left hand, misses, thought he was fouled, no. Darrow corrals the rebound, throws a no-look pass inside to Reed, who got a right fingertip on it but couldn't corral it. Turnover. Here comes Francisco Martinez and the El Toro Chargers. Martinez out to D'Amato, driving in the lane, stopped his dribble, back out near side, wing, slashing, Martinez up off the glass, no good, and he was fouled. They're going to whistle Brandon Kincaid for the foul, and Martinez will go to the line shooting 2, 17-12. The Sailors lead by 5 with 3:06 to go until halftime. The senior point guard for El Toro at the line with a chance to make it a one-possession game. He sinks the first and has the home team, the 0-4 El Toro Chargers, within 4. 3:06 to go until the half. Second free throw, nothing but the bottom of the net for Francisco Martinez. And Kincaid inbounds it to Reed. Now Kincaid will bring it up across the timeline for the Sailors, dribbling with a right hand, switches to a left, surveys the court, and gets it over to the senior point guard, Levi Darrow. Back up top to Reed, left side to Elgin, back to Darrow. Around the perimeter, Sailors work it, and Tyler Lee triggers a right-handed three, too strong. Reed chases down the rebound, and back out to Lee. Now Elgin, left side beyond the three-point line. Back up top to Lee, and he traveled. Got a little too fancy on the pump fake with the footwork and turns it over. Sailors still lead by 3. 17-14, 2:37 to go. Jordan Medeiros, the 5'11 senior, checks back into the game for the Sailors, replacing the 6'2 Tyler Lee. Your 5 starters tonight for the Sailors: Levi Darrow, Luke Barnes, Gianni Passero, Tyler Lee, and Shea Elgin. Here comes the El Toro offense. Martinez has it on the far side elbow, stops his dribble, back up top to Snyder. Now they get it to D'Amato, driving in the alley, lost control for a second. Martinez triggers a deep 3, too strong off the back of the iron. A major collision, and Jake Reed comes away with it for the Sailors. Look out below. Right side, Medeiros, back up top to Elgin. Now left side to Levi Darrow with the white leg sleeve on his right leg, drives in with the right hand, draws contact in the paint. And he will go to the line shooting 2. 6th team foul. No correction, he will inbound it below the basket. It is the 6th team foul for El Toro. Kincaid inbounds it to Darrow. He misses off the iron, and quickly El Toro brings it down. Nice inside fancy footwork by Ashton Rico on the right block, up and under and in, and he has El Toro within 1, 17-16. Sailors lead. Darrow brings it across the timeline with a right hand, swings it right side to the junior, Brandon Kincaid, who had it poked away for a second. And he resets up top with Elgin. Elgin, crossover, stop, pop, and misses left side of the iron. Darrow tries to tip the rebound to himself. Kincaid pokes it away, but Martinez comes up with it for El Toro, feeds it ahead to a cutting Payne. Now back out. Snyder triggers a 3. No good. Rebound, Darrow. Sailors still lead by 1. 17-16. 1 minute and 17 seconds to go until halftime. Darrow, left side to Kincaid. Spins around. Stops his dribble at the elbow and has to get it up top to Medeiros. Pump fake, now drives in the paint. Dishes it out. Elgin all alone for a 3. No, too strong. From the near side baseline. Rebound corralled by D'Amato. Ashton Rico cuts in, now back out to D'Amato. He gets around a screen, gets it back to D'Amato, dribbles with the right hand, stops, draws the contact, and it's a charge. Levi Darrow not afraid to hit the deck. The senior point guard does it all. He sacrifices his body and he forces the turnover. Offensive foul against Andre D'Amato. And with 52.8 seconds to go until halftime, the Sailors have the ball coming the other way. Working from left to right, Newport Harbor wearing navy, the El Toro Chargers wearing white. Tyler Lee brings it up for Newport Harbor, swings it over right side beyond the three-point line to Elgin. Elgin with a left hand. Had it poked away, had to stop his dribble for a second. Now Passero has it, right wing, up top to Lee. Beyond the three-point line, Martinez harassing him. Sailors can't get the penetration they want, and the shot clock's at single digits. Passero has to drive in the lane, and he's bailed out by a foul call as he spins around on the near side block, loses the basketball. But a foul is whistled, the 8th team foul against El Toro. And Passero will go to the line for a 1-and-1. First free throw, strong off the back iron, no good. And Martinez grabs the rebound for El Toro. Shot clock is off. Game clock is at 18 seconds. Should be the last look of the first half. El Toro controls it. Francisco Martinez, the senior, single digits. We're down to 7. He's guarded by Darrow. Gets around a screen from Payne. Dribbles it back out. 3 seconds. Shoots a deep 3. Off the iron. No good. Darrow grabs the rebound in the near corner. The horn sounds. And we are headed to halftime. The Sailors clinging to a 1-point lead. 17-16 at the turn. We'll take a quick break. By 1 over the Chargers. 17-16. Levi Darrow has the majority of those points for Newport Harbor. And the Chargers will inbound it to start the second half. Or correction, the Sailors will inbound it, and Levi Darrow brings it up across the timeline for them. Leading by 1, cutting in the lane, drawing contact is Luke Barnes. Pump fakes, draws a ton of contact, has it blocked, gets his miss back, and he'll go to the line shooting 2. Luke Barnes working hard in the paint for the Sailors to earn himself a trip to the charity stripe and a chance to put his team up by more than a single point. Correction, not a shooting foul. So Tyler Lee inbounds it, gets it into Barnes, who hangs in the air. The ball touches every part of the rim, bounces out. And Tyler Lee of the Sailors will be whistled for a foul on the rebound attempt. Not a shooting foul. El Toro will inbound it, down by 1 with 7:39 to go here in the third quarter. Working from left to right, Francisco Martinez brings it up across half court for El Toro. Outside, Ashton Rico has it, cuts in the lane, spins around in the paint. Tough shot off the glass and good. Shea Elgin had a hand in his face, but he got it up. Levi Darrow feeds it ahead. Pizarro's all alone off the glass. And just like that, back and forth, Sailors back up by 1. El Toro went up 1. And Pizarro sneaks out. Darrow finds him, and now the Sailors lead 19-18 with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ryan Snyder knifes into the alley for El Toro, passes it back out to Martinez, guarded by Darrow, stops on the baseline, pump fakes, feeds it back out. D'Amato triggers a deep 3 and hits. Andre D'Amato puts his team up by 2, 21-19. El Toro leads with 6:40 to go in the third. Darrow, no-look pass down to the baseline as Pizarro hangs in the air, misses, gets his own rebound, goes up amongst 4 white jerseys. And it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow going in favor of the El Toro Chargers. Andre D'Amato, who just sunk a deep three-pointer, will bring it up for them. Passes it over left side to Martinez, who stumbles. His legs get tripped up and he travels. So a turnover. Possession back to Newport Harbor. Barnes will inbound it right in front of the El Toro bench on the far sideline, and then he'll bring it up. Passes it over to Elgin. Pump fakes now. Drives in for a step. Dishes it back out to Pizarro. Now back to Elgin. Beyond the three-point line. Right side, Darrow. Stops his dribble. Bounce pass to a cutting Luke Barnes. Goes up with a right hand. No. Misses. Rebound, El Toro. Francisco Martinez wants to push the pace. Up top, left side. D'Amato pump fakes. Drives in with a right hand now. In the near side corner, Martinez has it. Pass in the corner. Snyder triggers a 3, rims in and out, no good. Barnes controls the rebound for Newport Harbor, brings it up dribbling with the left hand across the blue El Toro bowl at half court. Tyler Lee has it near side right next to us. Luke Barnes catches it in the paint, pops, turns around, uses his body and gets whistled for an offensive foul as Francisco Martinez hits the deck and takes the charge for El Toro. Turnover, Sailors. And it'll be possession here. El Toro leading by 2, 21-19. The Chargers lead here at home. Their 5th game of the season. They are 0-4, coming off a 17-point loss to Woodbridge last week. Sailors open up their season here tonight on the road down in South County, spinning in the lane, hanging in the air, and having his shot blocked, but a foul was Ashton Rico. Tyler Lee went up and will be whistled for the foul. He thought he got all ball, and the official says otherwise.
31, Jake Reed, first personal, 13 foul. Rico shooting 2.
So it'll actually be Jake Reed whistled for the foul. And Ashton Rico shoots the first and misses. The lead is still 2 in favor of the Chargers. He sinks the second, 22-19. They lead by 3, their largest lead of the evening. Sailors were up 9-2, and since then El Toro has fought back and now controls this game, leading by 1 possession, 22-19 with 5:15 to go here in the third. Levi Darrow has it, dribbling between the legs, just across the timeline, hesitates now, drives in the alley, throws it off the glass and good! Levi Darrow, are you kidding me? He hits the deck, and he'll go to the line for 3, the old-fashioned way.
Third personal, second team foul. Down shooting 1.
Shea Elgin checks out of the game. And John Siegel, the 6'2 junior, checks back in with Levi Darrow at the line to complete the three-point play and potentially tie this game up at 22, 22-21 El Toro leads. Darrow's shot is off the front of the rim, off the back of the iron, and in. 22-22. We're all tied up with 5:08 to go in the third. Levi Darrow with the majority of the Sailors' points. Martinez cut into the lane, stop, brings it back out, now drives, dishes it up top as Phoenix Pham is in the game for the first time. Pham mishandles it. In the near side corner, it goes out of bounds. Pass from Sailor to Pham, unable to connect, and it'll be Sailor's possession. Darrow will inbound it to Tyler Lee. And Lee will bring it up for the Sailors, working from right to left. Newport in their navy jerseys, El Toro in their home whites. Siegel drives in the lane, draws all kinds of contact high off the glass. He touches the sky and has the Sailors back up by 2. 24-22, 4:30 to go in the third. Triggering a three is Rico. Off the iron, no good. Darrow corrals the rebound, and he'll push it ahead for the Sailors. Surveying the floor, cutting in the lane, dishing it out to Kincaid. Driving it with the right hand, hanging in the air, drawing contact, no. But Brandon Kincaid will go to the line for 2 free throws. Looking to put the Sailors up by 2 possessions. They were just down 3. They are now up 2, 24-22, with 4:22 to go here in the third quarter. Timeout taken. And we'll do the same. When we come back, Sailors lead by 2, 24-22 with Brandon Kincaid at the line. You are listening to Newport Harbor Boys Basketball Season Opener on Tar Radio. Welcome back into Tar Radio. Alex Crawford with you here from El Toro High School, home of the Chargers. And Brandon Kincaid is at the line, shooting 2. He missed the first, and the second one is strong off the back of the iron, no good. So Brandon Kincaid will have to wait for his first varsity points for the Sailors. Newport Harbor still leads by 2, 24-22. Good pressure defense by Kincaid. He tips the pass out of bounds. Last touched by Newport Harbor. And El Toro were inbounded. They get it into Martinez. Guarded tightly by Siegel just across the timeline. He cuts in the right alley with a right hand, stops his dribble. Now gets it back on the pass from Kazarian. Shot clock at single digits. Snyder's got to do something. He triggers a step back 3 hard off the iron, no good. And Levi Darrow corrals the rebound right in front of the taller Aaron Kazarian. Darrow will bring it up. Hesitation, hangs off the glass, off the side of the iron, no good. Kincaid grabs the rebound, out to Lee, airballs that one. Jake Reed tried to save it. He saved it a little too high. It went off the back of the backboard and out of bounds. But thus far in this season opener against El Toro, we can tell this is a Newport Harbor team that likes to hustle, and they're going to have to hustle to get wins in the competitive Sunset Conference this season. As Tyler Lee is whistled for a blocking foul, trying to track down a pass that was intended for Ashton Rico. He bodied Rico with his hip. And Lee will head to the bench with his 3rd personal foul. Jordan Medeiros checks back in for the Sailors. Shot on the near side corner by Snyder. Misses everything. And Kincaid brings it up for the Sailors. Now passes it to Darrow. Gets it to Siegel along the baseline. Back to Darrow in the paint. Can't quite thread the needle. And here comes Snyder, coast to coast, up with the right hand off the glass and good, and he's tied this game back up at 24. 24 with under 3 minutes to go here in the third. Now Darrow will patiently bring it across for Newport Harbor. Siegel has it left side beyond the three-point line. Back up top to Reed. Darrow, far side, standing at the El Toro logo just in front of Coach Toribio. He stops in the paint, hangs with the left hand, off the glass, misses, no good, gets his own rebound, misses that. And the rebound controlled by Kazarian. Martinez brings it ahead for El Toro. Up top, Snyder thought about a three. Now he triggers it. Yes, nothing but the bottom of the net for Ryan Snyder. The senior breaks the stalemate and has El Toro up by 3, 27-24. 2 minutes to go. Brandon Kincaid will run point for the Sailors. Right side to Jake Reed. Up top to Siegel. Now left side beyond the three-point line is Brandon Kincaid. Stops his dribble. Gets it back to Siegel. Medeiros. Back out top to Siegel. Cutting. Left side. Corner three by Kincaid. Yes! Brandon Kincaid. His first varsity points tie this game back up at 27. Nothing but the bottom of the net for the junior. 27-27. We're tied up with 1:59 to go here in the third quarter. Sailors were up 9-2. El Toro fought back, and now we are at a stalemate with 1:59 to go here in the third. Still a lot of game left. Still a lot of games left for the Sailors. We'll be back in action on Wednesday night at home against Fountain Valley, a team that's 2-0, led by Division I prospect senior shooting guard Jeremiah Davis. The Sailors will certainly have their work cut out on Wednesday. We'll have that game for you live. 7 o'clock tip from Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium on TAR TV. Sailors will be on the road on Friday at defending Sunset League co-champion Edison High School. Of course, Newport Harbor, the other in the co-champion. We'll have that game for you here on TAR Radio. Away games on radio, home games on TAR TV. 27-27, final 2 minutes of the third. El Toro working from left to right. Across your mind's eye, brings it up across the timeline. Ryan Snyder in the right alley, stopped his dribble, hangs fadeaway jumper with a right hand is good. Ryan Snyder providing a spark for the Chargers and has them up to 29-27 with 90 seconds to go. Now Jake Reed has it, far side beyond the three-point line, resets up top to Darrow. Left side to Siegel now, just beyond the three-point line at the top of the key is Siegel. Now Kincaid has it, left side Darrow, open three-pointer shot is good. Levi Darrow has the Sailors back up 30-29 with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here in the third. Martinez stopped his dribble, back up top to Snyder. Snyder has it, three with a hand in his face, in and out, no good. Medeiros was all up in his grill. Snyder still triggered it, bounce pass from Darrow to the cutting Medeiros. A little too much English on that one from Levi Darrow. Medeiros couldn't quite get there. Out of bounds it'll go with the Sailors up 30-29. Final minute of this third quarter. Possession to El Toro. They inbound it. Sailor gets it in to Martinez. He's guarded by the Sailors' Siegel. Newport Harbor leads by 1. 45 seconds to go. Martinez knifes in the lane, draws the contact from Darrow. Darrow affected the shot, and Kincaid corrals the rebound. Dribbling in with the left hand, stopping his dribble, back up top. Darrow triggers a three off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound is tipped around, corralled by Siegel, back to Kincaid. The tenacity of the Sailors shows itself there, and they get another possession. Shot clock is off. Game clock is at 20 seconds to go here in the third period. Kincaid has it for the Sailors with a hip-high left-handed dribble just across the timeline. 13 seconds to go in the third period. Darrow, right side, back up to Kincaid. Back to Darrow. Single digits on the game clock. Darrow, harassed by Martinez, has it poked away, lost the ball. Martinez comes away with it. 2 seconds to go. Martinez going to trigger a deep shot off the side of the backboard. No good, and we will head to the final period with the Sailors up 1. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. This one is coming down to the wire. Newport Harbor 30, El Toro 29. We'll have fourth quarter action for you when we come back. You're listening to Newport Harbor Boys Basketball on TAR Radio. Welcome back to Tar Radio. Alex Crawford with you here from El Toro High School. Sailors lead by 1 with 8 minutes on the clock, 30-29. And let's see if Newport Harbor can hang on and start the season with a victory. Levi Darrow has it across the timeline for the Sailors. Left side to Pacero, back up top to Luke Barnes. Now in the corner, Darrow drives baseline, feeds it out to Lee, who tried to get it inside. Francisco Martinez got a finger on it. A lot of collisions. Bodies on the ground. And a foul will be whistled against Francisco Martinez. Thank you to everybody joining us here on Tar Radio. Alex Crawford, the voice of the Sailors, here with you live from El Toro High School. Levi Darrow, lob inside, off the glass. Gianni Pacero on the alley-oop from Darrow has the Sailors up 32-29. 7:12 to go in this game. An errant pass goes out of bounds. Possession, Newport Harbor. Ashton Rico trying to get it to Ryan Snyder. Couldn't quite thread the needle. And Levi Darrow brings it up for the Sailors. Left side, Barnes has it. Back up top to Elgin. Thought about a deep three, no. Pacero, right side beyond the three-point line. Sailors working the perimeter. Tyler Lee with it now. Back up top to Pacero. Darrow, right side, just in front of Coach Toribio. Now they get Barnes in the corner. Drives baseline. Has his pass tipped. Shot clock at 9. Up top, Tyler Lee. Way beyond the three-point line. Swings a pass out. Darrow barely gets it. 3 on the shot clock. He's double-teamed. Throws up a desperation heave off the back of the iron. No good. El Toro defense was smothering, and Francisco Martinez cuts ahead for them. Bumps into Luke Barnes on the near side block. Misses the shot, but will go to the line to shoot a pair. The speedy senior point guards, 5'8", 130-pound Francisco Martinez sprinted down the floor on the near side, drew the contact, and will go to the line. Shooting 2. First one by Martinez is up and good. Has his team, the El Toro Chargers, within 2, 32-30. Sailors lead with 6:26 to go in this game. El Toro 0-4 on the year, minus 7.75 point differential for them. Their most recent game, a 17-point loss to Woodbridge. Sailors 0-0. Game number 1 on the season for them. They open things up at home on Wednesday against Fountain Valley. They lead by 1 here. 6:19 to go. They bring it up across the timeline just in the nick of time. Tyler Lee has it. Now left side to Elgin. Back up top, they reset to Darrow. Working the perimeter once again. Tyler Lee has it. Up top to Elgin, dribbling it with a left hand. Dishes it out to Darrow. Near side, corner 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Darrow tries to come in for the steal. Can't get it. And Martinez slashes ahead. In the corner. Oh, we're going to get a travel. Martinez dished it over to Sailor. And he tried to find his teammate, sophomore Ashton Rico, in the corner. And they're going to say that there was a travel somewhere in there. So a turnover. And it's Newport Harbor basketball leading by 1, 32-31 with 5:33 to go in this game. Reed brings it up for the Sailors. Now resets up top to Lee. Near side beyond the three-point line. Darrow has it, dribbling with the right hand. Back up top to the volleyball player, Jake Reed. Right side to Pacero. Sailors working the perimeter once again, leading by 1. Pacero has it, and he's harassed by Sailor. Left side, Darrow drives baseline. He's double-teamed. He has it stripped, and they're going to call him for a travel. Ryan Snyder got his paws in there. I thought it might be a jump ball, but they whistled Darrow for a travel. Levi Darrow, reigning Surf League co-MVP, along with Edison, now senior, Jackie Kwok. And Darrow, the lone returning varsity starter from last year's squad. Chargers drive in the lane, and the big Sean Jaffe, 6'3", 210 pounds, uses his body, puts it off the glass, and puts it in, 33-32. El Toro leads now by 1 with 5 minutes to go in this game. Pacero in the paint. Eurostep dishes it out to Tyler Lee. Triggers a right-handed 3, and Tyler Lee hits it from the near side beyond the arc to put the Sailors back up by 2. 35-33. Sailors lead by 2. 4:50 to go. El Toro now working from left to right. Snyder drives in, hangs in the air off the glass, too strong. It's tipped out, last touched by Tyler Lee. He was battling with the big Sean Jaffe down there for it. Had a nice box out, but must have got a fingertip on it. It'll be possession. El Toro, Ashton Rico to inbound from the far baseline. Your 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Reed, Lee, Darrow, Barnes, and Passero. Corner 3 from Snyder, in and out, no good, like a pinball. It bounces around and it ends up in the hands of Passero. He'll bring it up for the Sailors, getting it across the timeline and feeding it to the point guard, Levi Darrow, guarded tightly by Martinez. Back up top to Reed, right side. Barnes has it. Barnes guarded by Saylor. Left side, Tyler Lee has it standing here. Now up top to Darrow. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sailor's patient with it. Lee with the left hand, driving in, slashing, hanging, off the glass, no good. Passero tipping it around, corralling it, has it stripped away by big Sean Jaffe. Martinez pushes it ahead. Corner 3 from Saylor is good. El Toro back up 1, 36-35. The lob ahead to Passero, leaking out, cutting and scoring off the glass with a right hand. Sailors back up 1, 37-36. These two teams trading blows here in the fourth quarter. 3:44 to go, and Newport Harbor leads by 1. Timeout. Sailors head coach Bob Toribio wants to talk to his team. Back and forth they go with the team from El Toro. Chargers coached by Nick Sonato, assistants Donovan Jackson and Mike Morris. Sailors coached by Bob Toribio, assistant coach Jason Carey. Of course, Newport Harbor principal, Dr. Sean Bolton. And Newport Harbor Athletic Director, Dr. Jerry Murray. We thank them all for making this broadcast possible. And I thank all of you who are tuning in on tarradio.com or listening back to this game, perhaps on your drive back up the 405 to Newport Beach. It is El Toro basketball down by 1, 37-36. Sailors lead with 3:44 to go. Ashton Rico will inbound it to Francisco Martinez. Your 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Barnes, Darrow, Reed, Passero, and Lee. Those were pretty much your 5 starters. Reed replacing Elgin out of the starting lineup. And it's El Toro basketball near side beyond the three-point line. Martinez drives baseline, hangs in the air, passes it out. Snyder contested 3, yes! Oh my goodness, Ryan Snyder had a hand in his grill, and he puts El Toro up by 2, 39-37 after the timeout. 3:15 to go. Luke Barnes has it. Corner 3, the volleyball player Jake Reed triggers it, in and out, no good. Reed attacks to try to grab the offensive board, and he bumps into Francisco Martinez. So it's El Toro basketball leading by 2. 3:09 to go, 39-37 your score in favor of the Chargers from South County. Rico inbounds it to Martinez. Snyder hit a big 3 with a hand in his face last time out. He's guarded here by the Sailors' John Siegel. Martinez tries to get around a screen. Lee on him. A wide open 3 for Saylor. Too strong off the back of the iron. Darrow brings it down on the far sideline for Newport Harbor, dribbling with a left hand. Up top to Siegel. Standing in the corner near me is Tyler Lee. They reset up top to number 22, Siegel. They feed it to Passero on the block. Stops his dribble up top. Siegel pump fakes out to Darrow. Hesitation. Stops his dribble. Cuts it to Barnes. Draws the contact. Up to Passero off the glass and good. And we're tied back up at 39. Beautiful ball movement by the Sailors. Barnes to Passero. 39-39. 2:20 to go. Here comes El Toro working from left to right. Rico has it. Now Martinez. Guarded by Darrow. In the paint, he dribbles it back out. Snyder hit a 3 last time. He's guarded by Siegel. Hesitation off the lane, off the glass, and good. Count it, the hoop, and the harm for the senior, Ryan Snyder. And he puts his team, the El Toro Chargers, up by 2, 41-39. The 6-foot, 175-pound senior will go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. El Toro leading by 2, 41-39 with 2:09 to go. Sailors led by 7 in the first quarter, and it's been a back-and-forth battle since then. Snyder's free throw up and good. So a 3-point lead for the El Toro Chargers with 2 minutes to go. Crunch time for the Sailors. Darrow has it beyond the three-point line on the near side. Dribbles in with the right hand, spins in the lane, draws all kinds of contact. He made the bucket. It won't count. He was whistled for a foul, or he was fouled. If that was the NBA, it may have counted. Darrow spinning in the lane beautifully. He'll inbound it after the foul. Lobs it into Barnes. Barnes too strong off the back of the iron. It was right there. A beautiful play. And now Snyder triggers a three for El Toro. In and out, no good. Darrow runs into Barnes and grabs the rebound. That would have blown this game wide open for El Toro. Darrow, crossover, driving in the lane, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line shooting two with 1:38 to go. And the Sailors down by 3. Levi Darrow will head to the line for 2 foul shots. 42-39, the Chargers lead. And the scoreboard operator here has changed the Sailors' score to 7, so we look for them to reset it. They do. Okay, 42-39 in favor of El Toro. And the senior team captain, the reigning Surf League co-MVP, Levi Darrow, with a chance to bring Newport Harbor within 1. He misses the first. Off the front of the iron. No good. Timeout. We'll keep it here. This game is coming down to the wire. El Toro has yet to make a mark in the win column this year, but they have lost some close ones. A couple of one-possession losses. They're 0-4 Sailors being tested here early in their season opener. A lot of key players missing from last year's team. It's a bit of a rebuild, but don't tell the starters that. They expect to compete and be in the mix for the Surf League title. Last year, Newport Harbor League co-champs, along with Edison, the 3rd straight league title for Newport Harbor. The Sailors finished 22-7 last season and went 4-2 in Surf League. They're missing Luke Bashore, Robbie Spooner, Ryan Miller, and Nick Silva. As far as starters are concerned, they're missing the play of Josh Sandy and Remy Solani off the bench, but they are led by Levi Darrow. Luke Barnes played some major minutes as well. Darrow's second free throw up and good. 42-40, El Toro leads. They have the ball, bringing it up from left to right. Martinez running point for them with 90 seconds to go in this game. Snyder dribbling in with the right hand. Martinez on the near side baseline, guarded by Darrow. Dribbles with his left, brings it back out up top, way beyond the three-point line. Left side now cutting back to the right in the alley. Barnes is there. Tons of contact. He misses. Rebound, Siegel. Beautiful defense by Luke Barnes. Siegel ahead. Pissarro in the lane. Off the glass. No good. Barnes for the rebound, fighting. Pissarro trying to get there, and the Sailors miss both. The Sailors miss both attempts. It's 42-40 in favor of El Toro with 1 minute to go, and El Toro brings it up. Rico has it. Up top to Sailor. Guarded by Lee. Left side, Martinez. Poked away by Darrow. Levi Darrow comes away with the steal. 45 seconds to go, and Darrow is fouled by Martinez, cutting to the cup. Levi Darrow with the defensive play of his senior year. It's only game number 1 and quarter number 4, but that was huge. He poked it away from Martinez and started going coast to coast. 42-40, 46 seconds to go. And Levi Darrow will go to the line shooting 1 and 1. 42-40 score favors the El Toro Chargers. The first free throw by Darrow is up and good. Levi Darrow has the Sailors within 1. 42-41. El Toro leads, 46 seconds to go. Second free throw by Darrow off the front of the iron, no good. He splits the 1 and 1. He split his last trip to the line, and a timeout taken by Nick Sonato and the El Toro Chargers. It's 40 seconds to go in this game, and the score favors the Chargers by 1, 42-41. Obviously, both teams desperately wanting to win this game. El Toro looking for win number 1 on the season. They've opened things up 0-4, and the Sailors, with just one preseason game before they head into Sunset Conference play, would like to show this year is not just a rebuild. It's a reload. Can they do it? Down 1, 40 seconds to go. Sailors back in action against the 2-0 Fountain Valley Barons on Wednesday in Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium, and that will be a tough game. The Barons led by Division I prospect senior shooting guard Jeremiah Davis. Surveying the floor here at El Toro High School, Coach Bob Toribio draws up a play for the Sailors. They're on defense. El Toro with the ball, coached by Nick Sonato. He took the timeout after Levi Darrow split a pair from the charity stripe. 42-41, 40 seconds to go. El Toro leads. They inbound it. Rico gets it into Martinez, guarded by Darrow. Is the senior guard with the right hand. Bounce pass to Snyder. Siegel on him. Hesitation in the lane. Snyder forces the shot, gets it up. No rebound. Jaffe spins around off the glass. A mad fight for the rebound. And a foul is called. It's going to be on the floor.
Foul number 12, Ryan Snyder.
Against Ryan Snyder. So a loose ball foul on the rebound. It was quite the collision, or collisions going on underneath the hoop. And John Siegel, the junior, will go to the line shooting 1-1 for the Sailors, down by 1. 42-41, 23 and a half seconds to go. The biggest free throw of John Siegel's basketball career. He misses the first. Rebound, last touched by Gianni Passero. Possession, El Toro. So pressure defense here by the Sailors. They're going full court press. They get into Martinez, guarded by Darrow. 20 seconds on the clock. They're not going to let Martinez bring it across. No, he does on the near side baseline. Martinez stops his dribble. Passero's all over him. And a whistle. It looks like the officials are going to call the whistle for a foul. El Toro Chargers head coach Nick Sonato wanted to get a timeout. No, they will whistle Gianni Passero for a foul. So no timeout. And a 1-1 here for the senior point guard, Francisco Martinez. 13 seconds on the clock. El Toro up by 1. 42-41. Martinez looking to add to El Toro's lead. And all of the Chargers players besides Martinez get back on their side of half court, getting ready to play some defense. As Siegel checks out, Shea Elgin checks back in for Newport Harbor. Your 5 on the floor for the Sailors, Darrow, Elgin, Passero, Lee, and Barnes. First free throw by Martinez. Off and no good. Passero grabs the rebound. He stops his dribble. He's got to get it ahead to Darrow. 10 seconds on the clock. Darrow drives in the lane. Off the glass. No good, and he draws the foul. Levi Darrow quickly cutting to the cup. And he'll go to the line shooting 2 with 8 seconds to go in this game. And the Sailors down by 1. 42-41. I wasn't lying when I said this one's going to come down to the wire. What an opener for Newport Harbor. Nothing easy for this Sailors team. Levi Darrow trying to put the team on his back and tie this thing up. His last 2 trips to the line, he split the pair. He goes to the line here with 9.8 seconds to go in this game. And his team trailing by 1. Your 5 on the floor for the Sailors. Passero, Elgin, Barnes, Lee, and Darrow. First free throw by Darrow. Up and good. And we are tied at 42. Timeout, Nick Sonato and the El Toro Chargers. Darrow will have another free throw when we come back. I'm going to keep it right here for you from this great gym at El Toro High School. A small but excited crowd here on hand tonight. Obviously limited attendance due to COVID, just immediate family. But it looks like quite a few members of Sailor Nation made the trip down the 405 to the 5 here to El Toro High School to watch this game. We're very happy to have hoops back. And even better was the announcement from CIF Commissioner Rob Wygod last week that there would be Season 2 playoffs this year. That includes boys basketball. Last year, the Sailors made it to the first round of the CIF Southern Section D2 AA playoffs. They lost to Eastvale Roosevelt by 12, 56-44, at home at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium. After the timeout, Darrow back at the charity stripe, trying to put the Sailors up by 1. Your 5 on the floor for Newport Harbor. Levi Darrow at the line. Luke Barnes and Gianni Passero standing there ready to box out behind Darrow, Shea Elgin, and Tyler Lee. Darrow with the right hand shoots the free throw in and good. So the Sailors lead by 1, 43-42. And now Sailors head coach Bob Toribio going to take a timeout with 9.8 seconds to go. This thing coming down here to the final seconds at El Toro High School. A 1-point Sailors lead after Levi Darrow sinks the pair. I don't have the exact stats here in front of me, but I know for a fact that Darrow has the majority of the Sailors' points. Newport Harbor, 3 straight league titles. Of course, some of those co-champion or three-way champions, but regardless, 3 straight league titles for Newport Harbor. They went 4-2 in Surf League last year. They graduated 4 of their 5 starters and 2 key bench players, but they return Levi Darrow. Luke Barnes played some minutes, as did Gianni Passero, Tyler Lee, and Shea Elgin last year. And we're excited to see more of guys like Brandon Kincaid, Taryn Elgin, Jordan Medeiros, John Siegel, and the volleyball player, the sophomore, Jake Reed. Here comes El Toro, down by 1, 9 seconds to go. Martinez brings it up. He dribbles in, 5 seconds on the clock, tries to cross over. Darrow hangs in the air, off the glass, no good. It's tipped out. Darrow corrals the rebound in the corner, and the Sailors win by 1. Levi Darrow holds on to the ball, looks up at the sky, and the Sailors move to 1-0, 43-42 on the road to open the season over the El Toro Chargers. And it truly came down to the last second, the last millisecond